Warning, the following video contains 100% authenticity, facts and logic only, and is toxically masculine. So, if you're easily offended or you don't want to learn something new, then fuck off and go be a pussy somewhere else. The male timeline. It's a concept that I came up with, which consists about many facts about being a man, masculinity, leveling up and chasing excellence, male beauty, and male aging. Now, first of all, I want to talk to you about the age stages that we go through as men, right? So, stage number one, when you're a teenager up until your early 20s, right? This is the stage where you're partying around, you're having fun, having a good time, going out there, and you might already start to think about what you want to do in life, but you're really just relaxed and you're partying. And then from that stage up until your early 30s, right? That's the stage where you've already know what you want to do. You already have a good idea. You're headed in that direction. You're starting to work, but you can still party around. You can still have fun. And then stage number three, when you're 30, up until you're about, let's say, 60 to 70, is your work stage, right? The stage where you're just working. You meet someone, you get married, form a family, have some kids, buy a nice car, a nice house, put the mortgage, right? The kids go to college. And then eventually one day when you're about like 60 to 75, you retire, right? I'm here to tell you guys that's a garbage lifestyle. You should not aim for that lifestyle because you can aim for a lot more as a man, okay? First of all, you need to understand, aging for men and women is not the same, okay? No matter how much equality, no matter how much if a man can do it, a woman can do it, bullshit they shove down your throat, it's not the same, guys. That's why women age like milk, men age like fine wine. Now, obviously, sure, there's some pretty older women out there, but we don't age the same, okay? We don't age the same. Beauty for us plays a different factor, and what we bring to the table is very different when it comes to a man and a woman. So first of all, I need you to understand one thing, okay? And I'm going to give you a perfect example. Let's say I take you to Dubai right now. You and me, we're in Dubai, chilling on the beach, looking around. And we see this big yacht, this massive $100 million yacht passing by, right? And on top of it, you see 5 of the most beautiful girls you've ever seen in your life. All 18 years old. Beautiful, beautiful 18-year-old girls. Right? Dancing around, shaking their ass. And then you see the owner of the boat, right? This Arab guy, thick beard, thick accent, right? And he's there chilling, okay? He's like 35, all the girls are 18. Do you know what those girls needed to be on this boat? Do you know the prerequisite they needed? The only thing they required was beauty. And you know what he needed? He needed to work his ass off. He needed to have a plan and work, level himself up to the point where he was attractive enough to get that, right? Because it's very different for men and women, okay? This is why for beautiful women, for women who are pretty, they don't like feminism, okay? Because it doesn't serve them at all, They like the way the world works. It works perfectly for them. They get all this attention, they get all this male validation, they're taken out on dates, they get free food, they get eventually a good guy in the future who they can marry, right? A guy who can support her, who can take care of her, while she goes out, she fucks some other dude, right? And she cucks him, right? I mean, it works perfectly for them, right? That's typically why feminists tend to be much more uglier. Now, here's the thing, right? I'm going to give you another example about how beauty is very different, right? Let's go back to your high school days, right? When you were in high school. The guys who would typically get the girls were the most attractive guys in school, right? The guys who were taller, had broad shoulders, nice hair, right? Maybe captain of the basketball team, captain of the football team, whatever. And they got the girls, right? The only thing that they needed, surprisingly enough, was them being attractive. But of course, they were 18 years old. Because if we take that guy and we put him at 38 years old, 20 years later, do you think that his beauty is going to get him in the door? No, it's not. Because it's going to be very different. Especially if he's dealing with women his age. Especially if he's dealing with a single 38-year-old woman. Because he's going to be very desperate to settle down, And, yeah, sure, he can fuck her. Well, he's attractive, but he can't give her anything, Even a smart 18-year-old, girl, she's not going to go for a guy like him. Because the reality is, guys, as young men, we are truly worthless, okay? I'm 18 years old, and I'm saying that myself, I'm truly worthless. Now, it's not to be negative, it's not to be a dick. It's to be honest with you. When you're young, you really are worthless, alright? I had an amazing conversation with John Fish, and he explained it perfectly with me. There are things that you need as a man. There are things you need to achieve. There are things that you need to get, which at a young age it takes time to get. First of all, it's natural. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. And there are things that you simply don't have as a young man. Physically speaking, yes, you can start to level yourself up from a very young age. You can start to lift weights when you're like 14, 15, whatever age you want, right? Learn the importance of mastering violence, right? Being good at combat, right? You go pick up some Muay Thai, wrestling, basic boxing, three amazing disciplines. And then start to level yourself up mentally, psychologically, right? Understand, how to be strong mentally, have a good mindset, improve your game, right? Like many things, right? And then, of course, the third thing, which is obviously leveling yourself up in the sense of finances and assets, getting a home, getting a car, right? All these amazing things which take time, okay? And when you're young, you don't have them, therefore, you're truly worthless, okay? That's why speaking, it is practically worthless to date when you're young, like when you're 18 years old. I'm not saying you shouldn't go fuck girls, no. You have, you definitely can do that, right? But I'm saying dating, right? I mean, like getting into a relationship with them. It's truly pointless. Unless, this is the only exception I see to it, unless you have a girl who truly likes you, who has a good desire for you, and you can open an adult business with her. What do I mean? I mean, you can use her as a cam girl, right? She goes on cam, make an OnlyFans with her. She can do it. She doesn't even have to be nude, guys. I mean, if that's what's worrying you, she can be fully clothed in lingerie, or she can be nude. You can do porn with her. I mean, many things you can do, right? Obviously, you need to be very open-minded about it. You need to be very comfortable with other people seeing her nude, right? It's, they shouldn't even bother, you know what I mean, right? Because at that age, that's not a relationship that's going to be long term. But unless those are your goals, there's really no point in dating young. And that's actually a pretty good idea. I mean, obviously, you need to be very careful, right? You don't want to have false rape allegations and all that shit. But that is a really good idea. I know many people. I know a few people in person who've done that and who make a lot of money. And that's something that I'm really considering myself. Just now, I'm looking and many other things right now. But first of all, like I said, if you're not considering that, dating is truly pointless at a young age, right? Because any guy who is not even 10, who's like, let's say 5 years older than you, but who already has a car, who already has a place of his own, who is much more leveled up than you physically, can come in and easily take your girl, right? And the reason number two why it's not worth it is because now we're getting into the final part of the video, which is the age stages, guys. When you are young, the younger you are, the better it is. You need to start putting in the work young. Why the fuck do you think I have this channel to help you guys? Why the fuck do you think I talk about all these things? And I don't just talk, I do it, you know what I mean? I'm here training, I'm here working. I'm going to start fighting very soon. I'm still not sure. I'm probably going to start with smokers, right? They probably have one in January or something next year. But like I'm saying, guys, this is the reason why I talk about all this, This is the reason why I want to help younger guys as well. It's because the younger you start, the better it's going to be. Because if you think that right now, when you're 18, it's hard to get out of bed and have the motivation or the desire to go out there and chase excellence and become better, imagine how it's going to be when you're 38 years old. You have kids who don't like you or respect you, a wife who goes out there and fucks somebody else who doesn't fuck you anymore. You live in a shitty ass home with a shitty ass car and have a shitty boss that doesn't like you and that treats you badly. You know how much harder it's going to be for you to wake up then? So, that's the point of this video, guys. It's very simple. I know I talked about many things, but to sum it up, point number one, beauty, male and female beauty is not the same. Ask any man who's being honest. The most beautiful women are going to be between the ages of 18 to 22, right? Even if the man's 50, if he can get, if Robin Williams was still alive, if he hadn't committed suicide, he could be banging 18-year-olds the rest of his life because he worked up to that point. So, number one, beauty. Beauty is very different for men and women, right? And if you're a man, if you're attractive and you're young, that will be enough. But if you're older, that will not be enough. You need to have all the other things behind you. Number two, age, right? Men age like fine wine, women age like milk. The older a woman gets, the more desperate she's going to be to settle down, to have kids, because they also have a timeline, a timeline where eventually they're not going to be able to have kids, or it's going to be a lot more harder to be pregnant, right? And as for you as a man, you can choose what you want to do. And number three, understanding your age stages. Guys, if you listen to this advice, right, and you take it, and let's say you're fucking 17 years old right now, you work till you're 20, you have a good idea, right, between 17 to 20, what you want to do, you're working hard, you're starting to get all these things, and then you just bust your ass off from 20 years old to 30 years old, and obviously, you're not just working blindly, right? Like, let's say your goal is to be the best, like, bowler in the world, right? Like the guys who are at the bowling alley. I mean, I'm not sure there's much fucking money in that, right? So supposing, you've already got a good, realistic idea, you've already have people who help you, people who've mentored you, you're looking at all these opportunities, you're looking at the network, you're doing so many things to level up. If you work from 20 to 30, right, these 10 years, I guarantee you're going to be a millionaire long before you hit 30. I guarantee you're going to be in an amazing place. I'm 18 years old right now. I know I got many holes in my game. I would like, listen, another thing too, not just when you're young, right? Because like me, I'm 18 years old, right? I'd like to be in the UFC by the time I'm 22, by the time I'm 21, if that were possible. But it's probably not going to be. I got many holes right now, things to fix. So let's say I plan on being in the UFC, I don't know, by the time I'm 24, 25, that's more realistic, right? Maybe I'm going to retire by the time I'm 30. I'm going to make so much money. I'm going to do so many things in that time, right? That 10-year time period. And you should too, guys. Because after that, that's where you're going to have the fun. That's where you're going to be able to chill, have a good life, relax. Like I said, men age like fine wine. So, guys, that concludes it for this video. All right, truly listen, truly go out there. And like I always say, do the work, guys. Don't make excuses. It might be easy for you to make an excuse right now when you're a young guy, but trust me, when you're old and you're up against the wall with all these things you got to do, all these responsibilities, you're truly going to be fucked. So go out there and do the work right now that you're young. I'll see you next time.